Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And today I'm reviewing a film that's currently in theaters. The movie that I'm referring to is the 2025 film Caught Stealing, directed by Darren Aronofsky. So, the first thing I want to say is how pleased I was with the fact that this movie was just as good as the trailer made it out to be. I also want to applaud Darren Aronofsky for really kind of stepping out of his comfort zone. I'd say more often than not, he has this very dark, gothic feel to his films, but this was very different. In my opinion, it almost felt like a mixture of a Guy Ritchie movie mixed with Coen Brothers, but a little bit of that Darren Aronofsky darkness to it. So, just in case you're not aware of what the concept is for this film, let me tell you a little bit more about it. The movie takes place in New York City during the 1990s. We follow our main character of Hank here at the top, who, by the way, is an ex baseball player, and unfortunately, due to some sort of incident, he is also a bit of an alcoholic. Now, even though Hank has a rough past and is dealing with quite a bit, he does have one shining light in his life, and that's his girlfriend, Yvonne, who really seems to be the one to help right the ship for him and make his life a lot better off. In the building that Hank lives in, he has a pseudo friend named Russ. Now, Russ has to go back home and help out his ailing father. So, while he has to be gone, he asks Hank if he can then watch his cat for him. Hank does not really seem all that interested in helping out with this, but Yvonne pushes him into it. Now, while Russ is on his trip, there ends up being a couple of gangsters that show up to his apartment. Unfortunately, Hank ends up being caught in their crosshairs as they now believe that Hank has some sort of connection to Russ that he doesn't actually have. This is the moment that then becomes the catalyst for the film, as from here, lots of other gangsters and police officers now start questioning Hank about Russ as they believe that there is a connection between the two of them, as Russ has apparently gotten involved in a very bad situation involving a lot of money. And since Russ is nowhere to be found, everyone who is after him is now pointing their fingers at Hank and taking out all of their violent tendencies towards him. So, with the help of Yvonne, can Hank figure out some way of getting out of this situation or at least taking care of the problem so that it's not his issue any longer? Probably my favorite thing about this film is the amazing cast of actors that you have. I mean, you have Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Regina King, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, Bad Bunny, and Carol Kane, just to name a few. But a lot of the other side characters are just as amazing as the main cast. Honestly, for me personally, the only detractor I could say about this film is it does take a little bit to really get into the story. Not that it's bad or slow or that there's not interesting things going on, but it took me a little bit to really get hooked into it. Also, be prepared. This is a Darren Aronofsky story, so there are some very dark moments, even though there is a lot of comedy involved in this film as well. So, at least for me on my scale, I'm going to give Caught Stealing a 4 out of 5. And if you have an opportunity to check this out in theaters, I definitely recommend doing so. If you've already seen this film, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Skewed Reviews. And if there's any other movies coming to theaters that I should watch and do a review for, please also mention those in the comments as well.